Greetings and welcome to KNDI ATRI Live. So today we're going to focus on 3 important milestones that showcase the growth and the development of the Institute and our profession as a whole. These include the official council handover, the official launch of the capacity building, and the special general meeting or annual general meeting. These events are not just the administrative duties of KNDI as a regulator, but they showcase the active participation of members to grow the profession. I am joined today by Dr. David Okeo, who's going to elaborate to us the significance of these events. Welcome, Dr.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I know it's a very serious morning. We should have had this yesterday, but we thought it needs to be organized as a breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy with the morning sessions, particularly when you are handling matters to do with the regulatory framework.
Mm-hmm.
So today, I'm honored and I'm very pleased also to talk to the professionals. And so the conversation will be around the Nutritionists and Dietitians Act.
Okay.
So the event you're talking about, which is council handover,
Mm-hmm.
special general meeting, and of course the office launch, will be centered on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Dr. On to our first question. So today the profession is witnessing 2 important milestones to start with. That is the official council handover and the office launch of the KNDI capacity building offices. Could you kindly explain its significance of these upcoming events and what they mean for the growth and continuity of the institution?
Okay, thank you, Laura. So first and foremost, I want to say that the event we have scheduled is on 25th and also 26th,
Okay.
next week.
Mm.
And 25th of June 2026, we are launching our office, and we shall also have a council handover, which means the immediate predecessor chair is going to hand over some documents and, of course, officially to the incoming, who is the successor.
Okay.
So Dr. Evelyn Nigrikacha will be handing over to Professor Nguka.
Mm.
I think Nigrikacha has just been promoted last week, I think 2 weeks ago, as associate professor. So from now henceforth, we are going to refer to her as Professor Evelyn Nigrikacha.
Okay.
So she will be handing over the council documents that she has been handling as the chair to the incoming senior professor Gordon Nguka. Now, during that time, we are also pleased to inform the professionals in this case, that is our nutritionists and dietitians, that we are launching an office space, which is newly built. We call it Center for Capacity Building and Professionalism. So I'll be talking about that center again. And then after that, the following day, once the handover has been done, then the incoming chair can now officially take over and help us conduct the business of AGM as required by the law. Now, before I get into the details, I just want to make this statement that as we talk today, the expiry of the council was last year. The last council members, their term expired on 28th of July 2025. That is the current, the immediate outgoing chair. And we had conducted all the due processes for instituting a new council as required by the law under the first schedule, which was purely conducted within the rules that are prescribed by the council. Remember, this act tells the council to conduct their procedures, their own procedures, and as per the first schedule. Okay. So this was done and submitted to the office of the CEO submitted to the cabinet secretary so that he would gazette the council. I want to inform the professionals up to date that the cabinet secretary has not gazetted the council. Now, this forced one of the professionals who was aggrieved to file the matter in the courts, the High Court, and the ruling was made in March, which gave order of mandamus for the CS to gazette the nominated council members for the institute to operate.
Okay.
That has not been done, and it is unfortunate because the office of the CS is an executive office that is supposed to adhere to the rule of law. They're supposed to ensure that they protect the Constitution as they take oath, just like the office of the president.
Okay.
And so once the judge pronounced that an order has been given, then they have to obey court order, regardless of who they are in those offices, because those offices are occupied by people and they come and they go. So the office itself should have gazetted this council. So it has taken us now approximately 10 months, almost going close to 11 months before a new council is instituted. Now, our law requires that every year, within the first 4 months, within the first quarter of the year, financial year, we conduct an AGM so that the professionals can convene to see how their money was spent when it comes to statement of account, income and expenditure, and also statement of assets and liabilities. And this it can only be done at an annual general meeting. So if the year ends again, which is 30th of June, before we conduct an AGM, then even ourselves, we have already violated the law of the land, that is Cap 253B. So then what are we doing? So we have thought it wise that the best is if the court pronounces itself that the members should be gazetted, and the judge had weighed out all the processes and realized it was correct, then we will not wait for the cabinet secretary to hand over, because an institution is bigger than an individual and it has to run. So the CEO, as usual, is not the first time this is done. I remember when I just came in 2017, we had a transition like this, and there was no way to institute a council. And so I made a move and said that the professionals must have an acting chair. And so all the professionals who were aggrieved, they came and demanded that I conduct a special general meeting, which was against the law. And the matter was taken to court, and the judge sustained it because an institution must go. And so we had an acting chair and subsequently a new council, and now the council was regularized. Even though the AG was not very happy, but later on they discovered that that was the only best way to do it. Now, this also came in when the council was being renewed. We also realized that people from the Ministry of Health came in, they intervened, and then they came in with their own chair that was not procedural, and it forced the former CS Kagwe, Honorable Kagwe, to revoke an appointment of a chair and replace the elected chair, which again was embarrassing. Now, this third time again, you see, we have no gazettement of the council.
Yes.
Yes, we say that people should obey laws, but the executives are the first ones who are violating the laws of the land. So what do they expect us to do? So for us, we have looked at the judgment.
Yes.
We have also looked at the need of the professionals. And we have said that those members who are supposed to be nominated are convened as council members. So we had the first meeting with them, and we agreed that we continue. And so Professor Nguka is supposed to take the chairmanship because he's an elected member of the council, representing all the professionals. And he has a responsibility to make the professionals build confidence in the institute on matters of financial provisions. And so before he conducts AGM, the former chair has to hand over the document that she has. And that is why we agreed that we are going to have this meeting coming on Thursday for official handover, and it shall be witnessed by all the professionals. Now, if I start with that one, before I get to the other questions, when it comes to handing over,
Yes.
Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute is governed by the council under Section 5. And the institute is created under Section 4 as a body corporate that can sue and can be sued. Of course, the institute is managed by the CEO appointed by the council. Now, the council itself has committees. Some are statutory committees, others are ad hoc committees. So they operate through committees, and those committees can only work when a council is in place. Otherwise, there shall be no committee, because some of the members of the council are distributed in those committees. So if that is the governance structure, the operations of the CEO can only proceed within policies and regulations that are approved by the council. And so we need a council to make decisions. And so the CEO cannot work alone. And that is why it's necessary that we have this handover. Now, when we hand over, when the former chair hands over to the new chair, we will have quorum, because we already have 5 members that are nominated. And we have the DG, and we have the Director of Nutrition Services from the Ministry of Health, giving us 7, and the CEO, that is 8 out of 9. So we will only be missing on 1 member, who is an appointee of the CS, and waiting for the gazettement. So the business is actually in a good threshold to be conducted by this group, in as much as we are waiting for official gazettement and appointment. So the institution must run, and they can give direction to the CEO because they are legal. By the pronouncements of judgment, that is a case law now. So unless it is vacated, it remains a law in the country. Now, what is going to happen in the handover? The chair will hand over all the policy documents to the new chair. That is what is expected. And we have more than 20 policies that needs to be handed over to the new chair. The chair will also handle the file for the CEO to the new chair, because that has been in her docket ever since she was appointed. We'll also witness a handover of the mandate, which is the act, to the new chair, because he has to be officially given the current functional act so that he understands how to run the institution guide the institution within that process. So that is basically what the handover ceremony is going to be. But the good thing is that as the chair is going to hand over, she's also going to hand over a new center, which has just been built immediately after she left, having been proposed by the previous council. So she's coming to find it complete within, in fact, we have done it within 2 months. And she's going to be the guest of honor to officially open it. So that's a legacy that she's going to leave again and hand over now to the new chair for the next series of operations. So that is what the handover ceremony would be. Now, the good news is that during that handover, we have also, as professionals, we thought wise that we need to start recognizing our own professionals who have done it. So we know that we have professionals who have graduated from certificate, diploma, degree, that is technicians, technologies, and of course, nutritionists in all categories. And then we also have scientists and those people who have gone up to the highest level of qualification, that is PhD, and became even professors. So within this handover ceremony, we are also going to have a launch of a very important group of seniors. So we'll be having the people we called seniors in the jury system. These are the people who are going to now sit in as the top advisory for the council. Their role will be to ensure that they spearhead the qualification protocol of KNDI, to define seniority in terms of competency and qualification as well. So this jury will also be ushered in as a new interim group that is going to give advisory to the council. And they will take professional oath on the same day so that they can now act as the key pillars when it comes to matters of seniority in professionalism. So the jury will also be invited to witness this launch and at the same time take oath to guide the profession due to their expertise and qualifications that they have. And so that the nutritionists can now begin to know when to call someone senior and when to have some seniority respect, just like the lawyers do. In the Law Society of Kenya, and of course, you'll find that we have seniors who are respected by their juniors. That is not in the case of nutritionists, but you're going to do that. It's only in nutrition that you'll find a young professional mishandling a senior professional. And they'll be saying, you know, as we did nutrition and dietetics, these people did home science. Yet they were taught by home scientists. So they're actually home science. It's only that now they have been given a new line so that they can begin to ground their science properly in nutrition and dietetics. But the content they're carrying are contents from people who did home science. And so they have to respect those people in the order of seniority when it comes to the content of nutrition that they have been taught. So that's what we want to line up. So that is for Thursday.
Yes.
And I think that's comprehensive enough.
Yes.
Now let me go to Friday, and then I can leave you to ask me questions. Now on Friday, which is 26th June 2026, we have two activities that will take place there. In the morning, we are going to have professionals being ushered into the practice officially due to public, in a public licensing ceremony. We have been doing this on an annual basis, but because the council was not there, we were not able to do it last year. So the cohort for last year are coming in the morning. That is from 9 up to 12. We shall be ushering them into the profession. So we have invited certificate level, we have invited diploma level, degree level, those who are qualified to be publicly licensed, and even some specialties are also invited. So the council will witness this for the first time, the new council, and the chair will spearhead the process of awarding those licenses after the handover has been done. Okay. And the CEO will support the process so that the professionals can now officially be publicly licensed. They have been on interim licensing, but on that day, they'll become now officially announced to the public that they are new caliber of professionals. We have about 900 or so professionals who are supposed to be licensed. That is in the morning hours. And we have invited all our training institutions. By the way, all heads of departments, all seniors, all professionals will witness this process because it's going to be live in the YouTube. Now in the afternoon, we have now scheduled the special general meeting. We are calling it special because the AGM time elapsed within the first quarter last year. So the only way to redeem this, which is provided for in the Act, is when we organize for a special general meeting. This is where we will convene all the professionals. So I think you can leave you to ask me questions now in relation to the three.
Okay.
Yeah.
So picking it up from the SGM and AGM, why is it convened and how does it contribute to the good governance of the institute?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Laura. And I think today I need to educate our professionals and educate the public about this very special legal framework, which is Nutritionists and Dietitians Act number 18 of 2000, the only one of its kind in the world. Now, this act is very unique and very special. In fact, we are very happy with the drafters because the act was brought on board for self-regulation. The intention of Parliament then, when the late His Excellency Mwai Kibaki was the president, was to allow self-regulation and, of course, seeking for own resources to undertake regulatory functions of government. So it's the only act that where the professionals were given the powers to run their profession as they bring sanity. And they also fund it for themselves and come up with innovative ways of making money so that they can, or getting resources to run the institution. And I can tell you from that time to date, it has done very well because, first of all, we have never gotten any single money from government coffers when it comes to consolidated funds. We have never received any grant from government. I think that is something that the professionals must be very proud of because they're using their money to support government activities. And we really applaud the Institute for that. Now, why the AGM? Now, if you look at other acts in the health sector, which are listed alongside the CAP 253B, like the Medical Practitioners and Dietetics Board Act, or the Nurses Act, or any other clinical officers training act, you will notice that there is none of such acts that have annual general meeting. Now, an annual general meeting is an occasion where the owners or the professionals, for our case, come together, convene to listen to two very important things. To listen to the chair, so that the chair can give an account of the year's work, that is in form of a report. And number two, to listen to the auditors. Now, I want to expand that very well. I know there are times when the Office of the Auditor General have many times, by classification under executive order from His Excellency the President, that is 2023 version, they have always impressed on the fact that they need to come and audit KNDI. And we have always told them that, yes, the law may tell you that you have the provision to audit, but that was amended by people that we don't know and messed it up because, one, you cannot audit KNDI and then submit your audited report to the AGM because you are not subject to AGM. You are supposed to submit your audited accounts for consolidated funds or those who get money from government and also are given appropriation in aid powers, that is collecting money in addition to what is allocated. And you can only do that and submit to the Public Accounts Committee in Parliament. So if you know very well that you can't submit your report to the AGM, then you have no business to audit KNDI. And again, you cannot audit money that you didn't provide. These are public-private money. The professionals have already paid their taxes to KRA. And from the consolidated fund, the government has money now to run its functions. But the professionals now say again, we have to pay our subscription so that we can run our profession. That's double review. So you can't do it. So we have always insisted that, and that is under, if I refer you to the Act now, is under financial provisions. And so we are going to inform the professionals about the financial provisions. And this is where the funds of the institute come. Where do we get money? That is from the professionals, from the services we provide. And Parliament was very candid, gave us functions which are service-oriented and also functions which are regulatory. All of them have the capability of bringing fees. Now, the professionals decide on how much fees needs to be charged for their service. And that is what is running the institution. So at an annual general meeting, we also adopt fees and then the professionals give us authority to spend if they are satisfied that the audited account from the external auditors meets the thresholds of integrity that they want. And that's so when they're coming for this activity, that is one of the areas for focus. Now, why are we calling it special general meeting? Number one, the AGM, which is annual general meeting, the time had elapsed due to delays on appointment of the council or gazettement of the council. You get this?
Yes.
So now we have to organize for an urgent special general meeting, which the law allows us to do under fast schedule. And so I will want to, first of all, go to section part 4 of the Act, that is section 30. And section 30 is very clear. Annual estimates of the institute shall provide for the payment of salaries, pensions, gratuities, or other charges, proper maintenance of the premises, maintenance, repair, and replacement of equipment, and the criterion of such reserve funds as may be determined by the council. And then when you go to section 30, paragraph 4, it says within a period of 4 months after the end of the financial year, the council shall submit to the members of the institute at an annual general or special. So when the annual general meeting time elapses, we can also organize for a special anytime. Convened for that purpose, the audited accounts of the institute, together with a statement of income and expenditure of the institute, and then 2, we have a statement of assets and liabilities of the institute as at last day of that year. So we have a debt to the professionals from the time that 30th June ended to date. And it is not our fault, because the person who is supposed to do oversight has literally refused to gazette the council when all the provisions required legally have been fulfilled and advisory has been given. Now, the annual accounts of the council, paragraph 5 was added by the Ministry of Health. We don't know at what point they did this, but they went without public participation on the matter and added the council's accounts of the accounts of the council shall be prepared, audited, and reported upon in accordance to the provisions of Article 226 and 229 of the Constitution of Kenya, which talks about Auditor General. Now, I've just said that the law relating to public audit. Now, I want to inform and very candidly say this provision was initially meant to be provided for in only cases where government gives grant. Because if a grant is given from government, then it is going to be coming from public consolidated funds, and therefore the Auditor General should audit specifically that grant and submit it to public account on how it was used. So it was not meant to come and infringe into the professionals' money that has been collected. And so this section does not apply as at now, because we have never received any grants. But some people would want to twist the institute to now skip all other sections and come to 5. So the professionals have checks and balances for the use of their money through listening to the audited accounts, which is done by an external auditor recommended by the council and appointed at an AGM. And as at now, we have external auditors. The external auditors actually work for the professionals, not for the council. They are supposed to give their independent opinion, whether qualified or unqualified opinion, to the members. And we are ready, because they will be coming to address the matter on audited accounts. Hallelujah. So that is why we are inviting the professionals to come. We don't want any professional to miss out on AGM, because it's a very important matter. Now, from the chair's report, we have indicated what the council has done in the last financial year. And in that report, we have also indicated some of the some of the guidelines that the council has come up with. For example, we have things to do with the qualification policy, which again will be launched during the handover. But we will also adopt it at the AGM as one of the new policies that the council made during their previous term. So if the chair's report is adopted, then the professionals will have given us a mandate to run the processes as we want. And of course, some of these policies were not just done. They had good professional participation in them as required by the law. Because they're not affecting the general public, they can't go through the normal public participation. So once we have our critical stakeholders who are training institutional professionals, it's enough. And that was done. So they will also get that from the chair's report. Now, I want us to come back now to the first schedule. Very important. I don't know whether you want to hear it.
Yes.
You want our professionals to get to understand.
Yes.
I always tell professionals that you must read your law, understand it, and if where you cannot get proper interpretation, you can ask the institute to give you interpretation. And if the institute CEO does not know how to interpret, then we have legal experts that are there for the institute, supporting the institute, that can interpret the provisions of the law. So we would want to encourage our professionals to love their act and read it, so that they become a solid self-regulator agents, wherever they are. Now, annual general meeting of the institute is convened by the council. So in this case, the new chair will convene the annual general meeting. And this is supposed to be within the first quarter of the financial year, which means we are out of the period. But as I said, it's not our fault. But then if we are out of the period, then there can be a special general meeting, which we have now called before the end of the year, so that we can be still within the year. Now, this meeting should state the place, and I want to believe it is the KNDI headquarters, the hour of the meeting to be held, the business which is proposed to be transacted. In this case, audited accounts and the chair's report, nothing else. And then a notice is given 14 days to the time, which we did. And then the validity will be there as per the notice time. So the SGM now is valid because we gave notices 16 days before the time. Supposed to be 14 days before the time. So the chairperson of the council is the one who will preside over the meeting. And that's why handing over to the new chair is very important, because the former chair cannot chair this meeting given that the term had expired. But the new chair is legal, though delayed with gazettement, therefore can conduct the meeting. And anybody who feels that that is not correct can now go to the High Court and file a case against KNDI for doing that. And anyone who feels aggrieved because of their power as an oversight can handle it with the CEO. And the CEO will tell them that you have violated the Kenyan law and the constitution by not charging your duty as per the provisions required in penal code and other administrative laws like the leadership and, of course, public fair administration acts. And the most important, chapter 6 of the constitution and many other chapters. Now, finally, there is what we call integrity of the process, which is now in the first schedule under section 5. It says, at least 4 months before expiry of the term of the council, an annual general meeting or special general meeting shall be convened by the council for professionals to nominate 3 qualified members for possible appointment of one of them as a chairperson. This was properly done at a special general meeting, and the incoming chair was nominated. There were 2 candidates, and he led with votes. The other candidate, we did not submit the name because he rescinded. He said that he doesn't want to proceed, Professor Nguka can now take over. So he gave us a letter of a ticket that Professor Nguka's name should be forwarded. So we didn't forward 2 names, even though we were supposed to forward 3 names. So Nguka automatically becomes the chair.
Okay.
Who now should be gazetted if people were thinking right. And I blame the legal department in the Ministry of Health because and the Office of the Attorney General, because they cannot advise the Cabinet Secretary on what to do next, or they're just adamant. So this section has been properly done, followed, and we now have nominated officials who can run the institute. Now, if you look at section 5, paragraph 8 of the main act, it talks about the membership of the council. And if you go to the real provisions under section 5.8, it says the council shall regulate its own procedures in accordance with the first schedule. So this is a council activity, and it's not a ministry activity. Now, when they regulate those provisions, it's according to first schedule, which was done. So then we are now inviting professionals to come for a legal activity, which is required by the law. And it is their right to ensure that they participate in AGM. It is your right, you are a professional. It is my right to ensure that I participate in the AGM. It is Professor Nguka's right. And you see, we want the professionals to love the profession so that they can say, we did it.
Yes.
And you can see, by the provisions of this act, the nutrition has taken shape in the country. No one fails to talk about nutrition, even in parliament. If you go to the ministry, they take lead, the PS takes lead on how to collaborate with other international organizations to ensure the nutrition agenda is taken into account, and so that we can have better preventive mechanisms when it comes to matters of health and well-being. You go to the outside the country, people are recognizing nutrition. You see how our professionals are happy with service delivery in health facilities, from the outpatient to the inpatient, including critical care unit and HDU and renal, other specialized units. We have nutritionists there. The community have nutritionists, even from level 5. We have those who are now engaging in policy making. We have CNCs at the county, well structured, and sub-counties we have sub-county nutritionists. So this tells you very well that the professionals need to come as a solid and do self-regulation and shape this country when they understand their act. So I'm now calling upon all the professionals that they should not miss handover ceremony. That is on Thursday next week. They should also not miss the AGM, so that they can get to learn more the Institute is doing. And that will also help us in solving several queries, answering queries that have always been coming. Now, as I conclude this part, I want to say this. This AGM is purely for professionals. Now, we also have critical stakeholders who are important, like the unions, like the associations. These are very core pillars of nutrition, because the union is supposed to look at matters of trade, the trade matters, including welfare, employment, and all that. KNDI does not fight for employment. It's a regulator. The union can fight for employment. And we're working together with them to ensure that we educate the counties and national government when it comes to matters of service delivery and schemes of service and matters of qualification. We also have the associations that deal with professional matters, encouraging our professionals to actively engage in professional activities. So we have societies that do the same. These are very important pillars within the profession. We have also invited them to come as now a unit, because they are also registered as entities under several other acts like the Labor Relations Act and the Societies Act. So we want them also to be part of this process. And one thing that we have always agreed on is that you only become a member of such if you are a registered and licensed professional at KNDI. So we are inviting everybody to come. And it will be a very colorful event with a lot of entertainment and a lot of educative materials. and more important, giving direction on the new center, the Center for Qualification and Professionalism. In fact, it's capacity building and professionalism, but purely it will be engaged in training nutritionists as required by the Act. So they are all welcome for this particular day.
Thank you, Dr. David Okeo. So we are going into a short break to make a very important announcement. The Journal of Nutrition and Dietetics Editorial Board, together with Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute, take this moment to invite academic institutions, government agencies, development partners, NGOs, private sector organizations, professional associations, and researchers to submit concepts or proposal to host side events during the 6th International Nutrition and Dietetics Scientific Conference, which is scheduled for 9th to 13th November 2026 under the theme of Excellence in Nutrition Practice, Science, Innovation, and Impact. Why would you need to host a side event in the upcoming conference? It would provide a unique opportunity to showcase innovations. You'll also have the time to share knowledge, to foster partnerships, and engage with our professionals from both across the regions and beyond. We encourage you to participate in the side event, and you can submit your concepts or proposals by 30th of September. Please take a moment to review the poster that has been displayed on the screen.
Yeah.
Welcome back, our viewers. So we've had a very well explained and deliberated on the upcoming events, that is the official office launch of the capacity building and professionalism, the official council handover, and the special general meeting. So now, as we conclude this, what is your takeaway concerning these upcoming events to the viewers?
Yeah, I think very, very important, and first and foremost, we want to congratulate professionals and also thank them for a selfless service delivery in our health facilities. Just recently, I complained when I saw one of the clips, video clips going around trending in social media about Kenyatta National Hospital. What I saw there was that somebody was claiming that had an allegation that his mother died because of Kenyatta National Hospital's poor service delivery when it comes to matters of nutrition handling. In fact, he referred to a prescription given by a dietitian that could not be fulfilled by the hospital. And so he concluded and said that his mother died just because of lack of glucose. It was so sad. And so I had to complain to the PS Medical Services, that is PS Oluga. And I was surprised that he didn't take it kindly because he was asking me, why is this important? I want to inform him that it is very important. Now, in line with that, Kenyatta National Hospital has organized for a symposium again next week on Saturday, where they have invited me to come and state the critical standards required in service delivery. I would want to tell the professionals that nutrition is being recognized. And so on that day, I'll be very candid on how service delivery is supposed to be done in our national referral hospitals, because they're supposed to take lead. And I also want to be very happy with Kenyatta that they have invited the right person. Not only that, we have also invited the Director of Nutrition Services to also give that kind of what they do when it comes to capacity building from the Ministry of Health. So she'll be coming second on this, and it's a very, very good thing. The outcome of it will also be recorded so that we can have it for the future. Now, the take home for professionals is that please love your profession. That's number one. Number two, read your act and ask for interpretation where you are not able. And number four, offer selfless service within the provisions of the oath of practice. And then the last one, avoid politics. Let us shape our profession with minimal politics. You can ask questions, but they must be geared towards making the profession better. Now, for those of us who are offering services in the health facilities, we have good news. We have bad news, because we know people have reported that some of them report to work late. Some of them don't engage in service delivery, and they would rather leave the interns and attachees to handle patients. Please take full responsibility as a trained person and ensure that you are always on duty. Why? Because blessed is the man or woman that when he cometh shall be found so doing. So you should occupy all the times. You must not be supervised, so that you can take authority of the profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We've come to the end of our morning breakfast show. Please tune in same time next week, every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. from your host, Wangara Laura. And remember to attend the upcoming event on 26th and 25th of this month. Goodbye. Do have a lovely day.
Oh, just a minute. I know you have concluded, but it's not same time. Just remember that we were to have this yesterday. We have just moved it to breakfast time, but it resumes back on track on Thursdays. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that amendment. Okay, goodbye, guys. Thank you.